Born on February 12, 1809, Abe Lincoln took his first breath in a one-room log cabin on the Kentucky frontier. The boy's days were filled with chores, axes, and the tough rhythm of pioneer life. Yet at night he escaped into borrowed books, teaching himself far more than the classroom could offer. In 1816, the Lincolns rattled north of Indiana, chasing land with hope along strong light. Abe swung his axe clearing their new homestead, but he also practiced speeches to the trees and cured his neighbor. Another move in 1830 carried them to Illinois, across endless prairie grass. Where the tall teenager's hunger for ideas and justice grew, he settled disputes and studied every law he could find. Droughts, deaths, and debt tested him, yet each trial forged a deeper resolve. These early struggles and triumphs laid the bedrock for the leader of the nation who one day knew. In rural Illinois, young Abraham Lincoln leaves the family cabin to seek his own way. He drives an axe into oak rails, muscles forging endurance and resolve. Behind the cramped store counter, he greets townsfolk and tallies their goods. With compass and chain, he paces the prairie, measuring endless acres. On the Mississippi, he pilots a flatboat through swirling brown current. Dockside, he trades stories with farmers, merchants, immigrants, learning every accent. In New Orleans, a slave auction scars his memory and steals his moral sense. Nights find him bent over borrowed books, teaching himself law, history, politics. Daylight brings dry humor and rich tales that earn neighbors' trust. Step by step, the self-made youth prepares for the leadership history awaits. In 1832, 23-year-old Abraham Lincoln stepped into the public eye, announcing his run for the Illinois legislature. He lost the race, but neighbors admired his ease and manner and clear hope for a stronger community. That spring, the Black Hawk War erupted, and voters chose Lincoln captain of the volunteer company, giving him a taste of commitment. In the brief campaign wages as a store clerk and the town's postmaster, every spare evening he pored over borrowed law books, teaching himself the rules of justice. 2 years later, persistence triumphed. Lincoln won a seat in the legislature as a Whig. The victory lit the path that would carry his faith and opportunity, and hard work all the way to the nation's helm. In 1834, a lanky newcomer named Abraham Lincoln wins a seat in the Illinois legislature. Inside the chamber, he surprises veterans with thoughtful words and calm persuasion. Nights find him bent over law books, teaching himself every statute by lamplight. By 1836, his effort pays off. He earns a law license and a wider ambition. On trial days, juries lean in as he untangles complex disputes with plain stories. He rides the Eighth Circuit, dust on his coat, kindness in his smile. Honest Abe is born. At town halls, he champions roads and canals, arguing growth should reach every farm. These miles of law and politics forge the steel he'll need for the nation ahead. By the early 1840s, Abraham Lincoln was earning a reputation in Illinois as a lawyer who would not bend the truth. That integrity carried him to Washington in 1846, when voters sent him to the U.S. House of Representatives. On the floor of Congress, he challenged President Polk over the Mexican-American War and condemned the spread of slavery. After a single term, Lincoln walked back into Springfield's courthouse, trading politics for law, yet never keeping silent. The Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854 jolted him back onto the campaign trail, furious that slavery might march westward. Joining the brand-new Republican Party, he fused moral conviction with razor-sharp logic and speech after speech. The 1858 face-offs with Senator Stephen A. Douglas turned prairie towns into arenas, and newspapers carried Lincoln's words nationwide. Though he lost that Senate race, he gained a nation's attention and a reputation for steady principle. By 1860, Republicans wanted a candidate who could unite North and border states. Lincoln's honesty and plain eloquence sealed the nomination. That November, voters made the Rouse verdict in Illinois, 16th president of the United States. March 1861, Abraham Lincoln takes the oath while the Union trembles. Within weeks, states peel away, the nation splitting like a strained sea. Cannons thunder at Fort Sumter and Civil War ignites. Lincoln stretches presidential power, intent on holding the fractured republic together. In 1863, he reframes the fight, declaring freedom for millions in bondage. His Gettysburg words pull hope from blood-soaked ground, promising a new birth of freedom. Grief and criticism close in, yet the man refuses to bend. Lincoln's unwavering resolve carries America through its darkest storm and toward victory. By April 1865, 4 years of bloodshed were finally fading. Union triumphs had broken Confederate resistance, and President Lincoln drafted a mercy-minded plan to knit the nation back together. On April 9, General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse, effectively ending the war. Cheers and tears swept the northern streets as newspapers cried victory. 5 nights later, Lincoln arrived at Ford's Theater, eager for brief escape from laughter and play. In the shadows of the presidential box, actor John Wilkes Booth leveled a pistol, and Lincoln succumbed the next morning, the first American president struck down by an assassin. The nation mourned, yet his legacy as the great emancipator still guides every quest for freedom